Hello. If anybody sees this, uh, hi. I am a random human who has thoughts on a situation. Um, Bit of context. My name is Marie. I am a person with ADHD. I am a disabled person. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I was watching. Oh, geez. The I messed up video from Jimmy Snow. 19 minutes in, and I started watching this an hour ago because I started writing down my thoughts. Um, and I figured, at his suggestion, that yeah, making a video or just going live probably a bit more effective. Uh, Literally stopping and writing it down because I started this, like I said, an hour ago. And so my thoughts so far. Uh, I I don't know if I'm gonna like start over here, but I have almost five pages of notes. Uh, so yeah, I'm going to start the video over, um, because yeah, I might as well. I listen to stuff. I think I have it at 2 times speed. Yes, I do. Uh, I'm just gonna have it on my phone here. Uh, and we'll see where this goes. Like I said, I am a nobody on the internet. I am watching this before I like go watch anybody. These thoughts are completely my reaction to this video, not influenced by anybody because he has made a point that anybody who agrees with the drama channels or the commentary channels are just perpetuating that false narrative that the drama channels are pushing. I have not watched anything involving this video at this time. It's, yeah, it was posted an hour ago. I started watching it when it was first posted. So, yeah.
Hey everyone, so here it is, the video where I'm going to respond to a lot of things being said about me right now. Let me preface this by saying, I think I messed up a lot by doing everything improvised last time. So this time I wrote out my feelings. They are my own.
Good.
But yeah, I'm going to be using my teleprompter to make sure I don't go off on tangents or prove once again that, to be honest, turns out I can be a moron. Regarding the criticisms I've received, some of the things I actually do agree with. Took me a while to get there, but yeah, I'm there. I believe there are things I did wrong, but there are also narratives about me being pushed out there that aren't just wrong, they are really, really hurtful. So I just want to ask you this. If you are one of the people who's been so mad and really wanting me to admit to times I was wrong, you're going to get to see some of that. But I also want you to be open to the idea that you might have been wrong about some things too, as you watch. As everything goes, there is always context and nuance that you can't know, and I hope that you'll hear me out.
Yeah, I'm open to that. However, if you're not going to listen to criticism and people calling you out, then that seems very disingenuous, and yeah.
The first thing I want to share is going to be very vulnerable, and I know that there are going to be some video responses, I'm sure, made to me that are saying I'm being manipulated by starting here. I don't think that's true.
It really is.
It is what feels like the most absolutely pressing thing to start with, what's going on in my life. So I need to start right here with an admission. I am not as strong a person as I thought I was. I thought I had a super exterior and interior, and that when I'm right, all I need is to be right, and then anything else won't be able to hurt me. And that, it turns out, is not the case.
If he stopped there, I would be fine with this comment. He doesn't.
Well, I've tried to put on a mostly strong face. This has been the darkest time in my life in years. I have retreated into behaviors that are harmful, and I'm desperate to get back to some level of normalcy and to be able to focus on the things that matter the most to me. The thing is that it is a constant negativity, anger, but yes, in some cases, and even many cases, just people expressing that the nicest form would be like, I'm not who they thought I was. And that turns out hurts a lot to hear. So to the point that I've considered quitting a few times, but I don't actually know what else I would do at this point. And I definitely can't turn my back on my business and my staff. So I'm gonna try to tell you and respond to as much as I can here. And when I'm done, I need to be done with this for a while. And I'm really hoping by covering enough, I can be. It honestly doesn't feel like hyperbole right now to tell you that this is killing me. Because
that is where I'm like, that's crossing the line of that's starting to get even more manipulated. Like, I am fine with you saying that you are not in a good brain space. I am fine with you saying that because that is important information, but it's like, it's once you start saying that the situation is literally killing me, that's the I'm going to kill myself if you don't deal with this. Or if you don't like That's the threat of manipulating that you're gonna kill yourself because of a situation, and that is manipulative, and I agree he says it, but saying that something a agreeing that something sounds manipulative and saying it anyway still is manipulative? Um, yeah, it's just, mm, it's implying that you're suicidal because you're being held accountable by your viewers for what you've said and done, is what my notes say here from that part. Um,
Dark places I've gone, very, very dark places. All I honestly want is to help people and make people's lives better, and I've been failing to do that lately.
yep.
But also lately, people have come for every aspect of my life except for my dog, and now that I've mentioned it, Dexter might be next. So
Jeez, what I will say, a lot of the commentary channels that I personally watch do have a very, don't go attacking anyone involved in this situation, and I am going to also say this: do not be the asshole who goes and attacks someone because of what they say or what they've done, because you're still an asshole if you're being an asshole to an asshole. And uh, just it's not okay to attack someone for a situation that you only know what you know. You don't know the entire situation. And that's something to keep in mind in this whole thing is that, yes, there's a lot of information that has been put on the internet, and there's a lot of this that has been put on the internet. But we only know what's been presented. We don't know these people. And regardless, it's not okay to go attacking people. It's just not. Uh, and so I as much as I do believe that there are shitty people out there who will go and say shitty things like, "I hope you die," and "I hope your dog dies," and stuff like that, like, that's manipulative in itself, saying, "Oh, now that I've mentioned it, people are gonna go attack and, like, start telling me that they hope my dog dies." And, like, I have a cat, like, you see the cat tree there, she's probably sitting on the couch there. I would be devastated if someone told me that about my cat. But also, like, that's nobody is defending that. Nobody is defending that it's okay to do that. Um, so even though I'm sure that there are those people, they are a drastic minority. Um, and bringing that up is also manipulative.
hear me out. You still think I'm awful, then I will be sad to see you go, but I'm going to put everything on the table. I'm going to be honest, and I hope for the most part, I've recovered at least some understanding from people, even if you still don't agree with me. Let me list out real quick everything we're going to be talking about. I'm going to start off by talking about why I turned off comments on the original Gabbiana Rachel Oates video, and why, since turning off comments, we've also blocked people trying to comment other places, and anyone just really trying to force me to talk about it. It's important for me to also talk about my social philosophy. It's going to be important for everything else, but I'm going to try to keep it short. During that, I'm also going to talk about why I've taken so much time to address things. I'm also going to talk about the accusations that I'm using my autism as a shield. I will also generally talk about the way I engage with fans. This will be covering how I form friendships with people who liked my channel before we met. I'll also talk about how I've engaged with people in antagonistic ways and why they didn't like me or my channel, or in cases, just my recent actions. It's come up a little recently, so I will also talk about my views on dating people who knew my channel before me and how my views on that have changed over time. Then I'm going to address accusations that, and forgive me, content warning, we will be using the R word quite a few times in this. What do you even call this episode? We'll be addressing accusations that I'm a rape apologist. Then I'm going to address the narrative that I picked Gabby Hanna over Rachel Oates, which is probably the most popular thing that is lobbed at me right now. I'll also further address my friendship with Gabby Hanna. I'm going to address accusations that I support or condone the actions of a rape apologist. I will also address accusations that I silence sexual assault survivors and people from other groups. And Jesus, as I list all these out loud, like, there's so many things to address. I probably should. Then I'm also going to hit some other general things from outside of the situation. First, I'm going to address people who are mad that I abandoned Dear Mr. Atheist for the Sometime Show. This is in the part after the whole Gabby stuff. I'll also address that people feel like I try to guilt people into watching the Sometime Show. There's an accusation out there that I threatened my audience that I would quit if they didn't watch. I'll talk about that. And people have said that I'm a hypocrite for crapping on drama channels when I've talked about people like Trisha Paytas and many other creators. People also wish I would shut up about numbers. Stop talking about channel numbers. I've also been called a narcissist who has manipulated my therapist, which is a rough one to hear. I'm going to hit that one and probably some more that come to mind as I put my thoughts together. All right, so let me start here. I actually think I did things wrong, but I'm also resentful of a lot of conspiracies and jumps to conclusions that people have come up with. I'm not going to address all of them. I honestly couldn't if I wanted to. There's too many now. But if you are one of the people who started creating conspiracies about my personal life or about my current relationship especially, I'm actually not trying to save you as a subscriber at all, and you can go. The rage I felt seeing those kinds of things and how it hurt my partner also Yeah, if my problem here is that I can't humble myself enough to get over that, then I'm just going to accept that that's a character flaw of mine because I straight up have contempt for the things that I had to read.
Nobody should be attacking Jimmy or his partner or his family or anything. Nobody should be attacking anyone. Let me make this clear again. Nobody should be attacking anyone. And there's no being an asshole to an asshole does not justify being an asshole.
Regarding saving anyone else as a subscriber, I don't think that's why I'm doing this time. Obviously, I think I pretty much said so, that I was trying something like that the first time. I thought by sharing and being open, it would stop the narratives going around, and as I said in the video, I was motivated to try and protect my business. But this time is not that. This time, I am motivated by the fact that many people have adopted in their mind a character of me that isn't me. And some of that is my fault, but some of it is also not. Some of it has come from creators who are motivated by the views they get when talking about me and by telling people how to feel about me. But some of it's also been because I've sort of been a dick.
That is 100% why I am making this clear. I am a nobody on the internet. And I am making this video 100% because I don't feel like typing. I've written 5 pages so far, and I've got 20 minutes in. And as I mentioned, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and so my hands started to cramp up, and I can't write anymore. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just do this instead.
I've worked so hard to be a better person, to be an activist, to be an advocate, and to have all of it washed away over something that felt like a totally personal matter. To put lightly, I'm not doing okay right now.
You brought this
people who basically said, don't try and defend yourself, just admit you were wrong, and here you're going to see basically a mix of both. I'm going to be talking about both. I'm not going to lie about my intentions or actions to appease people who are mad in regards to where I think a popular sentiment is wrong. If that's what I think happened, I'm going to say so. I've been fighting against popular sentiments my entire channel. Like, what do you think it's like to fight with Christians? All right, let's get into the weeds. I know this was a long intro. Last thing I'll say is please watch the whole video. Please, especially if you feel a certain way.
Another reason why I'm doing this is because I am the type of person who will watch this type of reaction, who will watch the person is watching the video and commenting on it, and pausing it to comment on it. I am still getting the entire video, but I am not giving him the view. And while there's somebody who I watch who has started one of those, I feel like if I were to go watch it, it would end up being a moot point because he's making a point of people are just listening to other people's narratives and taking that as the truth. And no, this is my opinions. And I am making a point that these are my opinions on this whole situation.
Because of some other video you watch covering it or something, please actually hear my own words. I'm going to mention this first because I know it's probably going to come up anyway. Yeah, I'm going to leave this video monetized. Mostly because right now I think I have to.
Also, that's the other reason why I usually don't watch people's videos like this. I will go watch a reaction of it because if it's a situation that I don't agree with, ideally, honestly, had that person started the live before I started watching this, I probably would be watching theirs because I don't want to give views to people that I don't agree with and who I don't want to support because my views is my time is my money.
It might seem scummy, but I hope that you understand that this, I don't have a better word than drama, but this incident has hurt my business in a significant way, and I absolutely can't turn down much of anything right now that can make sure I can cover my business costs. But I'm compelled to also promise to do something outside of myself with it, so I will be, assessing what I need to cover those costs and a donation otherwise to the Trevor Project from profits from this episode. Okay, so why did I turn off comments on the first Gabby and Rachel video and then go on a blocking spree? First of all, let me say this. I shouldn't have made that video at all. It was a mistake, and it was one I made in the heat of the moment when I was mad at Rachel for saying things in an interview about me that I didn't agree with. I want to say directly to Rachel and Rachel only right now, I'm sorry I made that video. I really feel like I needed to do something, but I should have at least tried to reach out and ask if we could talk privately. In a way, even though we're not more, I now see, and I've also heard from many comments, that I was basically breaking the same kind of trust that I felt like Rachel had broken before. Yes. But I did make that video, and I thought I said everything I needed to, but you don't know what you missed until it's pointed out. So the number one reason I turned off comments was this, and many of you still won't agree with it. It isn't that I can't receive any criticism or that I want to make sure no one ever sees a negative thing. It was that the narratives being spun in the comments I felt weren't accurate. People were making claims about me that weren't true, and even if that was their honest assessment, I didn't have time to take on and correct each one. And if I tried, I probably would have fucked that up anyway. Like, I don't know if you all noticed, I'm not right now doing very good at responding to people that I'm mad at for misrepresenting me. But I will tell you, this is now something I've brought up with in therapy, and we're actually dedicating a lot of the foreseeable future to try and fix that. I'm very aware that when I engage with somebody, I lose my friggin' mind. I think I got used to it from all of the arguments with religious people and telling me I can't have morals and stuff, and then I forgot to turn it off, and it grew and became hateful. It just sort of expanded in other places. But I will say, I have said for years, my biggest pet peeve is being told what my intention and feelings are by someone who has no idea. Not just somebody who doesn't know me, but somebody who's saying from, for example, a text that your tone was this. That drives me wild. And I think everybody in my personal life knows that. I'm going to be later responding to some of the specific claims people made, but that was a big part of it. So here's some of the other reasons why I did that. The first few hours of the video, while there were people who were mad, it was mostly the same kinds of things. And actually, there were lots of people who were kind and supportive and said, the popular, on my quote-unquote side sentiment was, it seems like there was a miscommunication here, and it's understandable, and I hope you guys can fix this. But on the negative side, it was mostly the same kinds of thing where people would leave in a huff because I had said I was friends with Gabby. Not kidding, that was for the first few hours. Most popular was, you're friends with Gabby? I'm out. And then when drama channels come...
So I will say this. I am in the group of people who I did watch his first video before I watched any commentary video, because no commentary videos were up yet. And most of the things that commentary channels have said and drama channels that I've watched have said are things that I came to my own conclusions and agree with based on my interpretation of what he was saying and the situation. I am in the group of people who, it's a miscommunication. This is definitely what happened. It was a miscommunication. But regardless of Gabby being the third person involved in this whole situation, what did I say? I wrote down something. The issue isn't the miscommunication, it's that he was an ass about it. And yeah, yes, it was a miscommunication, but your reaction to the miscommunication is the issue, not Gabby being involved in this is just icing on the cake. Had it been like anybody else, right, he still would have been an asshole. And the reason that I personally unsubscribed was because of his actions, not because he's friends with Gabby. Like, I'm sure that some of the creators that I'm subscribed to are friends with people I don't agree with. I can't decide who people are friends with, and people are allowed to have friends. But yeah, it's just that weird situation of just that's not completely, accurate.
My video and spun what I said, the comments all shifted to the narratives they put out there. And that video had less than 20% engagement before I turned off the comments, which indicates...
Again, I know I've been on this video. I watched the first 19 minutes. We're 12 minutes in here. I watched the first 19 minutes, and it took an hour for me to write my thoughts for that 19 minutes, and that's why we're here.
That a lot of people weren't even watching half of it, and yet there was all of these, I believe, false narratives going. So I'm definitely here to also talk about...
And honestly, like, there is a point where I wrote, I'll be that where was it? At the 16-minute mark, I wrote that had my brain not told me to make a point of not doing what he's saying, accusing everybody of doing, I probably would have left this video already, because he's still just seems to be making excuses upon excuses to justify himself, instead of just getting to the point.
Things I did wrong. Turning off the comments on that is actually not one I regret, but maybe my communication about it, that I probably do. And I also acknowledge that it made people feel like I didn't want to hear things that I don't agree with. I hope you'll be happy to know that, first of all, even the comments that got deleted and blocked, I read most of them. Part of why I'm not doing great. Second, I have now had conversations with creators and experts that I felt could help me figure out what I did or didn't do wrong. I didn't just seek criticism. At a certain point, I did go, I need to find criticism, but it has to be qualified criticism, because even large groups on the internet, that, again, if they stem from narratives that came from other places, it just doesn't work. So I went and sought criticism from, like I said, other creators.
Again, if a bunch of people come to the same conclusion, maybe they have a point. Like, I personally, a lot of the commentary channels that I follow, and the videos that I found on the subject, were all posted after he turned off the comments. So his argument that a lot of those comments were just a narrative spun by the commentary channels, not adding up.
and qualified people. But some of you on an individual level probably feel slighted by me, and in some cases...
Also, can I just point out that, like, his comment of only taking criticism by by qualified people is very Gabby of him.
I totally did cite you. But I do want you to know, for 95+% of you, it was not at all personal. For the same reasons I talked about before, and mostly now my mental health, there's still going to be the same policy for a little while, as hopefully this starts a conversation I hope diffuses. However, I still want to say to you that if you felt betrayed by me, and you are, especially those people who have supported me for so long, only to have me turn on you by deleting you or blocking you, I am actually sorry. And I'm sorry for how the feelings that invoked. For the record, the Jimmy Snow you have seen recently that you don't like, I don't really like that guy either. And I hope you understand that I already knew that negative profiles of me were being painted in a lot of things, and I needed to universally shut that off my channel because truly, it just felt like it was coming from everywhere and people were poisoning the well. Now, it's also a fact that many people complaining that I'm shutting down criticism, they weren't actually there for that. They were there to build and participate in a public attempt at pushing a few different names, and frankly, pushing my cancellation. I reminded people that...
No, we were holding you accountable for your actions.
They have something they want me to read. I have an email and I have a voicemail, which I realize as I'm saying out loud now, I do read the voicemails, it transcribes them. But...
because instead of writing a comment in the comment section of the video involved, I'm going to write a comment and send it as an email. Because that makes sense.
No one took that up. Only a few dozen people compared to thousands of people who are wanting to repeat talking points that I think came from the drama channels.
Because it doesn't make
Actually, no,
sense.
they came from those channels. And any message I did receive directly to me about the issue, except for I think there was like 2 that were like 50 pages long, I actually did read those. But people who tried to force points and conversations elsewhere before I was ready, where I had the power to block, I did. But I wasn't doing a great job of communicating that I needed the space or that I wasn't ready. Now, for now, people try to state things about me as facts that I know to be untrue. I'm definitely still going to be blocking. People who just outright lie and go, no, I'm still X, Y, or Z. Even people who say stuff like Jimmy's just been lying about Rachel. But what lie have I told? Definitely talked about a disagreement. So yeah, there's going to be people who get blocked. At some point, depending on how vigilant...
I will point out that a lot of the things that he has called lies in the past about the situation have been misunderstandings of his own words, him contradicting himself, or just people not agreeing with his opinion.
Let the people wanting to cancel me are, once things cool down, I'm actually planning to unblock everybody who has been blocked from the last month or who will be blocked between now and that blocking moment. It's become clear to me that many of the comments which totally misrepresented what I said were made as bad faith arguments, or at times were just all out lies. But also, I'm aware that...
Or just because you weren't clear enough, or you might have been saying what you meant to said, but it didn't make you look any better even though you thought it was.
Abby is one of the single most hated people on YouTube, perhaps the most hated person on YouTube, and that regardless of whether or not that hatred is justified, which for me and my personal philosophy, hatred of an individual is almost never justified. That's my worldview. But even if it was, I know that the obsession with hate is so real. I'm not saying that everyone who disagrees with her, dislikes her, or criticizes her is that way. I'm not saying that. In fact, I'm not even saying most of those people are that way. But it's so many people that even it being a subset, there are thousands of people right now with such an obsessive hatred of her that a major part of their day, every day, is trying to burn down her world and anything it touches. And some of those people, it was clear, were in my comments.
Okay. Most people dealing with Gabby right now, like, who are commenting on Gabby, aren't commenting on this situation right now. This situation is old news. Nobody is talking about Gabby in this situation because that happened 2-3 months ago. We're talking about you in this situation because you're addressing this now. But also, like, the people who hate Gabby right now are way more focused on her entire "I'm taking everybody down with me" situation going on with her series. They're not paying attention to you, Jimmy.
Final reasons why I turned out the comments and went on a blocking spree. With all of that in mind, was that not only was the engagement on the video itself low, as in how much people were watching the video before leaving, most, to me that, sorry, I'm getting all jumbled, but to me that indicates most people weren't even trying to hear me out. I already suspected that, and then I noticed there were more views on videos spinning and changing what I said, and changing my motivation than on my video itself. So there are entire channels who get virtually no views on any other video except...
Oh, I'm getting a phone call.